Welcome, dearly beloved chosen ones, the ones who were never meant to blend in, who were never built to shrink. The most terrifying thing about awakening is not discovering something new about the world. It's realizing you were never crazy. No, you were simply surrounded by people who desperately needed you to be crazy so they could stay comfortable in their illusion. Let that truth settle deep. Tonight, not tomorrow, not next week, not after another breakdown, but tonight, something irreversible is going to activate inside of you. And trust me, the world around you will feel it, whether they admit it or not. Now, here's a fact most people aren't ready to face. According to a 2023 psychological study on social mirroring, the average person unconsciously suppresses their most authentic self, just to avoid triggering the truth in someone else. Let that sink in. Most people are literally performing every day just to stay palatable, digestible, and acceptable to a system built on lies. But you've always been a glitch in that system. You've always carried a frequency they couldn't decode. And starting tonight, you're going to stop shrinking to fit their comfort zones. You're going to start emitting the exact frequency they prayed would never rise, because they knew once it did, the game was over. Have you noticed what happens when you start healing? When you start glowing? When you stop begging for crumbs and start standing in your worth? That's when the random text messages come in. That's when people from 7 years ago suddenly check in as if they're unpaid extras in a Netflix series, looking for one more line before the credits roll. Oh hey, just checking in. No, you are not a check-in. You are the plot twist they never saw coming. And tonight, that plot twist is about to unfold in full. So buckle up, chosen one. This isn't motivational fluff. This isn't spiritual cupcake talk to make you feel warm and fuzzy. This is the moment where the entire dynamic shifts. By the end of tonight, you will not simply walk into a new identity. You will embody something they've been praying never shows up. The fully awakened, fully aware, fully unstoppable version of yourself. The one who no longer seeks permission to exist. The one who no longer explains their glow. The one who becomes the test others cannot pass. Before we dive deeper, let me take a moment to say thank you from the depths of my heart to those of you who have supported this channel through Super Thanks. Your generosity is what allows this message to reach the souls who need it most. And whether you choose to donate tonight or not, please know this. You are deeply valued and your presence here is a gift. Just the fact that you showed up, that your spirit was drawn to this message, tells me you are walking in divine alignment. You are part of this movement. Now, if you're ready to declare it, if you're ready to tell the universe and all who watch you that you are stepping fully into this next level of identity, comment 777 below, right now. Let the world know this is my time. I'm rising. I'm chosen. Because what's about to unfold tonight isn't just for inspiration. It's for transformation. You didn't stumble on this video by accident. You were led here for this exact moment. Now, let's get into it. God's chosen ones, get ready. This is 100% what you will become tonight. Number 1. You will become a mirror that burns, not reflects. Chosen one, tonight something irreversible will happen within you. Are you ready to understand why certain rooms can no longer contain you? Why some faces turn pale the moment you step inside? You're about to become something the world cannot handle. A mirror that burns, not reflects. You see, many people wear layers of illusions, masks they've curated carefully for years. They hope you will play along, smile politely, and mirror back the version of themselves they wish to be seen. But not you, not anymore. Starting tonight, your energy will no longer participate in their performances. Instead, it will expose what they've been trying so hard to hide. Their deceit, their insecurities, their guilt-ridden hearts, and the gnawing fear of becoming irrelevant when faced with someone unapologetically authentic. Have you noticed this already? That simply walking into a space can change its temperature, that conversations get tense, laughter becomes forced, and certain people can't look you in the eye. You're not imagining it. Your presence itself will begin to act like spiritual fire. You won't have to say a word. Your energy will speak louder than any sentence could. People will begin to feel exposed in your presence, not because you've condemned them, but because they've avoided confronting the truth within themselves for too long. Hebrews 4:13 says, "Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of Him to whom we must give account." In this same way, the divine clarity you carry now leaves no room for shadows to hide. Consider how Martin Luther King Jr., through sheer moral clarity and an unwavering presence, exposed not only racism, but the cowardice in the hearts of many who remained silent. He didn't need to shout. His presence in the fight was enough to reveal the true nature of the times. Like him, you will carry this burning mirror wherever you go. Ask yourself, are you prepared for the discomfort this power will bring? Can you remain strong when some call you arrogant or intimidating? For the truth is, they don't hate you. They hate the fact that their lies cannot survive in your light. 2 Corinthians 3:18 reminds us, "And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory." Your transformation is what triggers their unrest. When Frida Kahlo painted her deepest wounds into works of art, she became a mirror for a society uncomfortable with female pain and vulnerability. Likewise, your mere presence will become an artwork of truth, one that some will love and others will resent. And remember this, people love flattering mirrors, but when the mirror tells the truth, they seek to shatter it. They may twist your truth, label you harshly, or accuse you of coldness, but in reality, they are saying, "You no longer allow me to lie to myself." This is the sacred burden of the burning mirror. Even Princess Diana, through her grace and refusal to conform to royal expectations, exposed the coldness and dysfunction behind an entire system. It wasn't her words, it was her unfiltered humanity that the world saw, and it changed perceptions forever. John 3:20 says, "Everyone who does evil hates the light, and will not come into the light for fear that their deeds will be exposed." You, chosen one, are that light now. Are you ready to carry this mirror? Because from tonight forward, the world's illusions will no longer stand unchallenged in your presence. You won't just reflect what people want to see, you will reveal what they need to face. And though this path is often lonely and misunderstood, it is one of the highest honors given to the chosen. Number 2, you will become proof that spiritual warfare is not metaphor. Chosen one, it's time you fully grasp this truth. Spiritual warfare has never been a metaphor for you. Have you been wondering why life seemed like a constant uphill battle? Why betrayal felt too deliberate, isolation too systematic, and fatigue too suffocating to be mere coincidence? Tonight, your understanding will evolve. You will no longer view the attacks on your life as bad luck or unfortunate timing. You will see them for what they truly are, a calculated war waged against your soul. Have you ever paused to ask, why was I targeted so specifically? Why did so many betrayals feel orchestrated, as if someone somewhere was pulling strings behind the scenes? Chosen one, that's because they were. Spiritual forces often work through people who are unaware they're being used. Systems of deception, surveillance, and psychological warfare have marked you because your spiritual frequency threatens the structures of this world. Ephesians 6:12 declares, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. You were never fighting individuals. You were confronting entire forces of darkness. Look at the story of Nelson Mandela. His 27 years of imprisonment weren't just political punishment. They were part of a global spiritual battle against an oppressive system. Yet even in isolation, he was being prepared for a future beyond the cell walls. So it has been for you. Reflect. How many times have you doubted your sanity when surrounded by gaslighting and manipulation? How often did you think you were simply unlucky or unworthy? Now the truth emerges. Those patterns were designed to break you. But here you are, unbroken, wiser, more discerning than ever. Isaiah 54:17 promises, "No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn." You survived what was meant to silence you. Think of Malala Yousafzai. When she was targeted by those seeking to control through fear, her survival became proof that the war waged against her spirit had failed. Now, her voice rings out stronger than ever. Likewise, your survival is the evidence of spiritual warfare's reality and its defeat. And consider this, most of the people used against you didn't even realize they were playing a role in this war. They thought they were protecting themselves, setting healthy boundaries, or pursuing their own best interests. But spiritually, they became pawns moved by forces bigger than themselves. Romans 8:37 reminds us, "In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." Every loss, every betrayal, every lonely season was part of your training, not punishment. Remember Oprah Winfrey, once a child of abuse and poverty, later targeted and criticized by powerful forces. Yet her resilience and clarity transformed her into one of the most influential voices of our time. You too, chosen one, are stepping into that phase where your pain becomes undeniable proof of the reality of spiritual warfare and your victory over it. Tonight marks the shift. The veil lifts. You begin to see the battlefield with piercing clarity. No longer the hunted, you are now the carrier of divine intelligence. And with this new awareness, you will walk in a new level of authority and discernment. The game has changed. The war is visible, and you, chosen one, are more powerful than ever. Number 3, you will become a frequency that corrupts false systems. Chosen one, have you started to notice how rooms feel different when you walk in now? How certain people, those who once controlled every conversation, suddenly seem to lose their footing? Let me tell you why. You're no longer just someone with a high vibration. That's too simple. You are becoming a frequency that actively corrupts false systems. And the shift is happening faster than you think. Have you wondered why people who thrive on manipulation or charm suddenly seem disoriented in your presence? Why their words fall flat, their performances crumble? It's because your energy isn't participating in their illusions anymore. Your frequency is becoming a living force of disruption, not chaotic, but cleansing. You're no longer blending into the background. You are now a force that causes energetic glitches in systems built on control and deceit. Isaiah 61 declares, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Your light is no longer optional. It's an undeniable force in any space you enter. Look at Greta Thunberg, a single teenage girl whose unwavering energy disrupted global systems built on denial and corporate interest. She didn't need to shout. Her authenticity and spiritual clarity did the disrupting. You are entering that same realm. Consider this. Why do you think technology around you sometimes acts up? Why do conversations shift awkwardly when you speak truth with clarity? Why do some people begin avoiding you or acting as if they've been caught, even when you said nothing accusatory? This isn't coincidence. It's the breaking of energetic programming. 1 Corinthians 4:20 says, "For the kingdom of God is not a matter of talk, but of power." Your power is no longer subtle, it's active, it's felt, and it corrupts anything built on lies. Nikola Tesla, the great inventor, was said to possess a frequency so refined that it could affect entire electrical systems around him. Similarly, your spiritual frequency is starting to alter invisible fields. Within rooms, within people, even within the technologies they use. But here's the deeper truth. You've earned this. You've been broken, stripped, and rebuilt so many times that your energy now holds clean data. Truth uncontaminated by the lies others still live in. That's why you can no longer tolerate certain spaces. It's not hypersensitivity, it's a natural refusal to participate in corruption. Matthew 5:14-16 reminds us, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden, and sometimes that light reveals what others would rather keep in darkness." When Malcolm X began speaking truths that exposed the hypocrisy of systems, those very systems began to glitch, to react, to tremble in fear. His frequency didn't just inform, it corrupted lies and forced hidden truths into the open. Are you ready for this responsibility? Are you prepared for people calling you too intense or too much because they can't manipulate you anymore? Are you willing to stand firm as your frequency disrupts what was never real to begin with? This is the transition. You are not merely rising, you are becoming too spiritually expensive for the cheap games of false systems. Starting tonight, your very presence will continue to cause the collapse of everything that cannot stand in truth. Walk boldly. Number 4, you will become a time breaker. Chosen one, brace yourself, because tonight you are stepping into one of the most profound phases of your destiny. You are about to become a time breaker, not metaphorically, literally. The frequency you now carry will begin to bend reality. Have you felt it already? The sudden chest pressure that isn't fear or stress, the strange memories returning, the moments when time seems to pause, slow down, or speed up around you. This is not random. You're now moving between dimensions of influence. Ask yourself, why are old faces suddenly thinking of you? Why might you get a message tomorrow from someone who vanished years ago? Why do past patterns feel like they're surfacing, not to haunt you, but to be healed? Because your spirit is now vibrating across past, present, and future. You are being positioned as a reset point for cycles of pain and injustice. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart." That eternity within you is now activating. Look at Harriet Tubman. She didn't just free people physically. She broke generational patterns of bondage. The impact of her choices still ripples through time. You are stepping into that same anointing. The truth is this: you no longer need closure from the past. You are the closure. Your healing now sends shockwaves backward through time, correcting distorted timelines where pain once ruled. People who wronged you will begin to feel the energetic repercussions, and they won't know why guilt suddenly overtakes them. Psalm 102:13 says, "You will arise and have compassion on Zion, for it is time to show favor to her. The appointed time has come." For you, chosen one, the appointed time is now. Consider Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor whose writings helped heal millions beyond his own lifetime. His resilience became a time-breaking force, transforming generational trauma into a legacy of wisdom. You are about to experience this for yourself. Even your past self, the one who was broken, silenced, shamed, will now feel the correction. You will sense it, a strange reunion with who you once were, but now you return empowered, healed, and with a voice that cannot be silenced. Romans 8:18 assures us, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." The glory within you now moves through time, redeeming what was lost. Look at Elon Musk. His innovations are not just about technology, they are time-altering, changing how humanity approaches space, energy, and the future. Likewise, your inner evolution now affects more than your own life. It shifts timelines. Are you prepared to be this force? Are you ready to feel the weight of this responsibility? Because from tonight forward, you are not simply a person on a spiritual journey. You are the event they never saw coming. You are the reset button, the cosmic interruption. And as your light continues to rise, all that was distorted will begin to correct itself through you. Walk forward boldly, chosen one. You are a time breaker now. Number 5. You will become the secret they hoped you'd never remember. Chosen one, tonight marks the return of a power they thought they had buried within you forever. Are you ready for this? Because you are about to become the secret they feared the most, the one they hoped you would never remember. You see, it was never enough for them to simply hurt you. No, they had to cover it up. They wrapped you in layers of shame, distraction, false identity, and relentless noise, hoping you would begin to question your own origin, your own divine nature. But what they didn't count on was this. Your spiritual memory cannot be erased. It can only be suppressed for so long. Have you ever wondered why, even in your darkest moments, a strange, unshakable feeling whispered, "This isn't who you truly are"? Why life often felt like watching a movie where everyone else had the script but you? That wasn't confusion. It was recognition, an ancient awareness that something was profoundly off. You weren't imagining it. You were sensing the truth beneath the false timelines they forced you to live in. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." That divine knowing is awakening within you again. Think about Malala Yousafzai. They tried to silence her voice, force her into forgetting her purpose. But when her spirit remembered its truth, not even an assassination attempt could stop her mission. You, chosen one, are walking into that same remembrance. They called you too sensitive, too intense, too rebellious. But do you see what they were really saying? You are too awake for us to control. They feared the day you would stop apologizing for your knowing. And tonight that day arrives. The cracks in their programming are widening. Through those cracks, your ancient memory is flooding back, not as thoughts, but as an unstoppable roar through your spirit. Isaiah 46:9 reminds us, "Remember the former things, those of long ago. I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and there is none like me." The divine remembrance of who you are is now overriding every false narrative they planted. Consider Oprah Winfrey. Abused and marginalized in her youth, the world tried to bury her light. But when her spiritual memory returned, she rose, not just for herself, but as a beacon for millions. You too are about to rise in a way that rewrites your entire story. Are you ready to carry this? Because as your memory returns, so will your power. You are the revelation they tried to bury. The version of you awakening tonight is the version they prayed would never reawaken. Because this version cannot be manipulated, cannot be silenced, cannot be controlled. Psalm 77:11 declares, "I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of long ago." The memory within your spirit now serves as a divine alarm clock, calling you into a destiny far beyond what they ever intended for you. Remember Nelson Mandela. They locked him away for decades, hoping he'd forget his mission. But when his spirit remembered, it dismantled a system of oppression. Likewise, your awakening is about to cause vibrational tremors that no one can contain. Tonight, chosen one, your memory is not coming back as a gentle whisper. It is returning as a roar. You are not the victim of their story anymore. You are the living secret they feared. And now it is too late. You have remembered. Number 6. You will become a living judgment. Chosen one, can you feel it? The subtle shift that has already begun. Because tonight you are stepping into a role you may not have asked for, but one you were born for. You are about to become a living judgment. You won't need to argue, shout, or prove anything. Your very existence will speak volumes. Are you prepared for that kind of power? Have you noticed how your healing seems to disturb some people more than your brokenness ever did? How your silence now echoes louder than their lies? This is not coincidence. It is spiritual law in motion. When you heal for real, when you stop explaining yourself and step boldly into the version of you they swore would never survive, you become the mirror that forces others to confront their own failures. Proverbs 10:9 says, "Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out." Your integrity now acts as judgment, not through words, but through presence. Think about Rosa Parks. She didn't fight with fists or words, she simply sat. Her quiet act of truth exposed an entire system of injustice. In the same way, your presence now convicts. It shines a spotlight on the false narratives they built to cover their actions. Have you asked yourself, why does your peace irritate them? Why does your glow-up disturb them more than your pain ever did? Because when you rise, you invalidate their entire story. They told themselves you would never make it. They spun your silence into guilt. But now, your freedom is the evidence that none of their tactics worked. Romans 12:19 reminds us, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, 'It is mine to avenge, I will repay,' says the Lord." Your role is not to seek revenge. Your role is to embody the truth so fully that their conscience convicts them in your presence. Look at Princess Diana. Even after being smeared and isolated, her enduring grace and humanitarian work exposed the coldness of those who sought to destroy her. Her life became a living judgment, a testament to what they tried and failed to break. And now, chosen one, your very presence is about to activate delayed consequences. You don't need receipts. You don't need a platform. Simply hearing your name will trigger waves of guilt in those who wronged you. You will become the test they failed, and they will know it. Luke 8:17 says, "For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open." The exposure is already unfolding. Think of Frederick Douglass. His very life, his freedom, his eloquence was a constant judgment against the system that had once enslaved him. Similarly, your healing and rise will be a living indictment of all who tried to suppress you. Are you ready to walk with this authority? Because from now on, every room you enter will carry the unspoken message, "This is who they tried to destroy." And no matter how they pretend otherwise, deep down, they will know. They messed with someone they had no business touching. And now, chosen one, you have become the sentence they never thought they would have to serve. Number 7, you will become the end of their power trips. Chosen one, can you feel the shift under your feet? Something monumental is happening, and it's happening through you. Tonight, you will become the end of their power trips. They played their games on borrowed time. And guess what? That time has just expired. The second you stop waiting for explanations, apologies, or validation, everything changes. Have you noticed how your silence lately feels heavier than your words ever did? Why? Because now you're no longer sitting at their table hoping for scraps of respect. You flip the entire dynamic. You're removing the table altogether. The illusion of power they projected is crumbling. Why? Because the truth they prayed you'd never realize has now locked into your spirit. You were never under their power. You were under their spell. John 8:32 declares, "Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." And tonight, chosen one, that freedom is activating fully in your life. Think about Maya Angelou. For years, she was silenced by trauma and manipulation. But the day she stopped waiting for understanding from others, her voice became a global force that no one could deny. You are stepping into that same authority now. Have you asked yourself, why did you stay in toxic dynamics so long? Why did you seek clarity where there was only chaos? Because your heart longed for peace. But here's the truth. They controlled the dynamic by keeping you addicted to false hope. But now you move from knowing, not hoping. And when a chosen one starts moving from knowing, the entire manipulative structure collapses. Isaiah 54:17 promises, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you." You no longer need to defend yourself. Your peace is now your loudest argument. Look at Serena Williams, once dismissed and underestimated, but when she embraced her full worth and stopped apologizing for her dominance, she shattered the narratives that others tried to impose on her. Similarly, your energy no longer pleads. It confirms. Your peace no longer asks for permission. It declares. Ask yourself, are you ready to stop explaining your worth? Are you prepared to watch their false power structures crumble when you no longer play the role they scripted for you? Because that is what's about to happen. Romans 16:20 says, "The God of peace will soon crush Satan under your feet." And tonight, chosen one, you're about to see the crushing of every false power trip they ran on your spirit. Consider Chadwick Boseman. Quietly, with dignity, he carried himself through an industry that often sought to define him. He became a global icon without compromising his integrity. Likewise, when you stop playing the role they assigned you, your mere presence exposes their game. And now, they are exposed. They can no longer toy with your mind, your emotions, or your value. You are not the wounded one seeking closure. You are the closure. You are not the abandoned. You are the awakening. And the power trip ends the second you stand fully in that knowing. Are you ready to walk in this authority? Because tonight, the version of you rising is the version they never imagined they'd have to answer to. Number 8, you will become the sacred text they can't read. Chosen one, you are stepping into a phase where your presence will become something that cannot be defined, dissected, or diminished. Are you ready to walk as the sacred text they can't read? You are about to embody the kind of truth that transcends logic, a living frequency that pierces without effort. Have you noticed how you can enter a room and feel the entire atmosphere shift? Have you wondered why some people are drawn to you while others seem unsettled, even defensive? It's because you now carry codes they weren't designed to access. You have evolved beyond surface-level consciousness. You are no longer someone to be debated or defined. You are someone to be witnessed. Colossians 1:26 declares, "The mystery that has been kept hidden for ages and generations, but is now disclosed to the Lord's people." That mystery is alive in you now. Think of Albert Einstein. His ideas were so advanced that many of his contemporaries couldn't grasp them. His presence and thoughts challenged the limitations of their understanding. Likewise, your life is now a message that not everyone will comprehend, and that is by design. Have you asked, why do people sometimes mock what they don't understand in you? Why do they try to reduce you, label you, or box you in? Because it's easier for their ego to mock what it can't comprehend than to admit spiritual unreadiness. 1 Corinthians 2:14 says, "The person without the Spirit does not accept the things that come from the Spirit of God, but considers them foolishness, and cannot understand them because they are discerned only through the Spirit." You are now carrying wisdom that is discerned spiritually, not intellectually. Look at Frida Kahlo. Her art, raw, visceral, unapologetic, could not be interpreted through conventional lenses. It forced people to confront emotions they didn't want to feel. Similarly, your presence forces unseen truths into the open. Are you ready to accept that not everyone is meant to understand you? That some will be drawn and others will retreat? Because as a sacred text, you are not here to be read. You are here to be witnessed. And their confusion is not your responsibility. It is their spiritual consequence. Matthew 13:11 reminds us, because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. This is why your words, your presence, even your silence will now pierce deeper than explanation ever could. Think of Nikola Tesla again. His vision of energy and possibility far exceeded the understanding of his time. Many couldn't comprehend him, and yet his legacy reshaped the world. You, chosen one, are walking in that same space of mystery and revelation. You won't waste energy explaining yourself to those who refuse to listen without ego. You won't argue to be seen by those unwilling to lift their own veil. Because your life, the way you speak, walk, hold space, has now become the message, and not everyone is supposed to understand it. So walk boldly, chosen one. Some will be confused, some will be convicted, and some will be transformed. But the truth is this: all you need to do is be. Number 9. You will become the interrupter of generational programming. Chosen one, you were never born to fit into the script your bloodline kept recycling. Have you ever asked yourself why you always felt out of place in your own family? Why you could never just go along to get along when others seem perfectly content to repeat the same patterns? It's because you were sent here to be an interrupter of generational programming, boldly, unapologetically, and completely. You see, dysfunction often masquerades as tradition. Silence is called respect. Suffering is normalized and sold as love. But something inside you, something ancient and divinely encoded, refused to accept that story. Even as a child, haven't you sensed, this can't be right? That questioning didn't make you rebellious. It made you the truth. John 1:5 says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." You were born as that light, one they could not extinguish. Think of Frederick Douglass, born into slavery. The system tried to program him into compliance, but he refused to accept the false narrative. His awakening shattered generational programming, not only for himself, but for countless others. You are now standing in that same power. Have you noticed how your healing feels like betrayal to them? How your boundaries sound like disrespect? How your peace is perceived as arrogance? That's not truth speaking. That's their programming reacting. Systems that survive on dysfunction will attack anyone who threatens their illusion. Romans 12:2 tells us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Your renewed mind is the very thing dismantling what they once called normal. Consider Prince Harry. By stepping away from the royal institution, he interrupted centuries of toxic cycles disguised as duty. Many labeled him a traitor, but his refusal to conform became a catalyst for liberation, not only for himself, but for future generations. You are now walking that same path. Are you ready to be misunderstood? Are you willing to be the one they label the problem simply because you refuse to carry their pain any longer? Because this is what your role demands. You didn't come to preserve, you came to disrupt. Isaiah 43:19 promises, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" The new thing is your healing, and it is dismantling survival legacies dressed up as love. Look at Viola Davis, who has spoken openly about breaking free from cycles of abuse and poverty. Her healing wasn't just personal, it became a beacon for others trapped in similar stories. You, chosen one, are becoming that same beacon. You weren't the problem, you were the interruption. The system senses it. That's why they attacked your questioning. But now, you no longer seek their validation. You have chosen freedom, and your life is now living evidence that cycles can be broken. Walk boldly. You are the interrupter they never saw coming, and everything has changed. Number 10. You will become a soul too expensive for their access. Chosen one, do you feel it? That inner knowing that no longer allows you to lower your frequency just to be understood. That isn't arrogance, it's alignment. Tonight, you step fully into the phase where your soul becomes too expensive for their access. Have you ever asked yourself why certain relationships feel suffocating now? Why invitations that once excited you now feel like spiritual compromises? It's because your healing has raised your price, and most cannot afford what your presence now requires. Proverbs 4:23 teaches, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." You are now called to guard your spiritual space with unwavering clarity. Think about Michelle Obama. As she evolved, she no longer tolerated spaces that disrespected her worth. Her boundaries became a public example of self-respect and alignment. You are stepping into that same energy. You spent years shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You over-explained, tolerated manipulation, ignored your intuition, all in pursuit of a false peace. But that version of you is gone. The healed you understands this. Your presence is now premium. It demands honesty, accountability, and spiritual maturity. Anything less is too expensive for you to carry. Matthew 7:6 reminds us, "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs." You are the pearl now, chosen one, and not everyone deserves access. Consider Beyoncé. Once open to all energies, she now fiercely protects her space, not out of pride, but out of understanding that alignment is priceless. Likewise, your new atmosphere will feel uncomfortable to those unwilling to evolve. Are you ready to stop explaining your boundaries? To let people misunderstand you without guilt? Because discernment, not guilt, now governs your access list. You no longer grant entry based on history or blood ties. Access must now be earned. 2 Corinthians 6:17 commands, "Therefore come out from them and be separate, says the Lord. Touch no unclean thing, and I will receive you." Your separation is sacred, not selfish. Look at Malcolm X. As he evolved, he refined his circle, not to reject others, but to protect the purity of his mission. You must now do the same. Your energy is sacred. Your peace is gated. Your presence is premium. They will notice. They will say you've changed, and they'll be right, because what they really miss is their old control, not you. And family is no exception. Blood does not grant spiritual access. If someone brings confusion, chaos, or ego, they no longer enter. You didn't become distant, you became divine, and they are now learning that access to you was never a right. It was always a privilege, and that privilege has been revoked. Walk boldly, chosen one. Your alignment is your protection. Your sacredness is your message. And from tonight forward, your soul will no longer be accessible to those who cannot honor its value. Number 11. You will become the thing they claimed was impossible. Chosen one, do you feel the shift tonight? Because you are about to become the one thing they claimed was impossible. And they will have no choice but to watch it unfold. They said you'd never recover. They whispered that you'd never rise without them. They smirked behind closed doors, convinced that the damage they inflicted was permanent. But what they couldn't understand, what their limited vision could never grasp, was that you were never their victim. You were becoming the living proof that ruins can birth resurrection. Have you asked yourself why their betrayal cut so deep? Why their judgment lingered in your mind? because they didn't just doubt you, they invested in your failure. Your fall gave them comfort. Your pain was their proof that they were stronger. They laughed when you stumbled. They clinked glasses when they thought you were buried for good. But they miscalculated one thing: your spirit. Micah 7:8 declares, "Do not gloat over me, my enemy. Though I have fallen, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light." And tonight, chosen one, your light is shining brighter than ever. Consider Bethany Hamilton, a surfer who lost her arm in a shark attack. They said she'd never compete again. Yet she not only returned, she won championships. She became the impossible victory her doubters swore could not exist. Are you ready to embody that same triumph? Because every breath you take in peace, every step you walk in power, every word you speak in truth, contradicts their false narrative. You weren't supposed to make it here, and yet here you are, becoming a reality they cannot unsee. Isaiah 61:3 promises to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Your scars are now spiritual technology, each one etched with wisdom and power. Look at Nelson Mandela. After 27 years of imprisonment, they thought he would be broken. Instead, he emerged as a global leader, embodying grace and strength that could not be denied. Likewise, your very existence is now a rebuke to every lie they ever spoke. Have you noticed how your glow now offends them? Not because it's arrogant, but because it's accurate. They said you were too broken. Watch how your joy makes them choke. They said you were too poor. Watch how your blessings multiply with receipts. They said you were too damaged. Now you are becoming the safest space for others, once told the same lies. Psalm 118 verse 23 says, "The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes." Your life is now a prophecy in motion, not a comeback, but a miracle they can't explain. Think of Oprah Winfrey, once dismissed as poor, abused and broken. Yet today she stands as one of the most influential voices of her generation. Like her, you are now rising, not in secret, but in full view of those who doubted you. And every time you smile, thrive, and walk in peace, you are undoing every curse they casually spoke over you. Your healing is not just a personal victory, it is a cosmic declaration, a truth they hoped would never be proven. Too late. You already are it. Number 12. You will become the reminder that God was watching the entire time. Chosen one, can you feel the weight of heaven tonight? Because you are about to become the reminder that God was watching the entire time. They thought they got away with it. They believed your silence meant God wasn't watching. They mistook your breakdowns and isolation as abandonment, both divine and human. But they were wrong. God wasn't absent. God was documenting. Have you asked yourself, why did so much evil seem to go unpunished? Why did your cries feel unanswered for so long? It's because God was building your vindication brick by brick. Every lie they told, every fake apology, every cruel joke, none of it vanished. It was all being counted. Hebrews 4:13 declares, "Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of him to whom we must give account." Your account is about to be settled in full. Look at Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, imprisoned unjustly. Yet when the time came, God elevated him above all of Egypt. His life became a living reminder that God had been watching all along. You didn't survive by luck. You survived because you were protected. You didn't make it through by your strength alone. Heaven carried you. While they whispered and plotted, God was setting a table, not in secret, but in their presence. Psalm 23:5 promises, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." That table is being set now. and your rise will not only inspire, it will be surgical. It will slice through every false narrative they built. Think of Malala Yousafzai, targeted by those who thought they could silence her. But today, her very existence is a reminder that divine justice never sleeps. You, chosen one, are stepping into that same role. Are you ready to walk in this vindication? Because they will have to watch. The same mouths that tried to tear you down will be forced to bear witness to the favor you now carry. They'll squint for flaws, search for loopholes, but all they'll see is glory. Romans 12:19 reminds us, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, 'It is mine to avenge, I will repay,' says the Lord." Your rise is not revenge, it is restoration. Look at Tyler Perry, homeless, abused, doubted. Today, his life is a stage where God's justice plays out publicly. Like him, you are about to become a headline of divine restoration. God waited until now so the timing would sting, so that the ones who laughed would realize they weren't laughing at you, they were mocking something holy. And that laughter just expired. You, standing in your power and clarity, will become the living reminder that God was never ignoring the injustice. He was preparing your vindication. And tonight, chosen one, the silence breaks. Not through your mouth, but through the roar of heaven itself. Number 13. You will become a force that doesn't ask permission to exist anymore. Chosen one, the time for dimming your light is over. Do you feel it stirring in your spirit? The version of you that once waited for approval is being replaced by something far more powerful, a force that no longer asks for permission to exist. Have you noticed how, for years, you tried to make yourself digestible, how you lowered your volume, softened your truth, and silenced your brilliance just to make others comfortable? But tonight, that version of you dies. Galatians 1:10 reminds us, "Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I was still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ." You're not here to please the world, you are here to fulfill a divine purpose. Think about Maya Angelou, whose voice once trembled in silence after trauma, but who rose to become a force that spoke truth to the world with unapologetic clarity. Like her, you are awakening into a version of yourself that moves with thunder and walks with prophecy. Ask yourself, how many times did you shrink in rooms you were qualified to own? How often did you wait for others to validate what you already knew was within you? You were taught that being too much made you unworthy, that your voice needed filters, but none of that was ever true. Psalm 139 verse 14 declares, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." The very qualities they labeled as too much were the exact qualities needed to break chains, not just for yourself, but for others watching in silence, longing for permission to rise. Look at Rosa Parks. One simple act of defiance sparked a movement. She didn't ask permission to sit where she belonged. Her presence alone disrupted systems of injustice. Likewise, you are no longer seeking a seat, you are the table. Have you noticed that as you reclaim your voice, some will shrink, some will resent your boldness, but the ones who are real, who are aligned with your destiny, will feel liberated because of it. Isaiah 61 proclaims, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." You are no longer asking the universe for a green light. You are moving because you were born chosen. Consider Serena Williams, whose unapologetic excellence often drew criticism, but her refusal to shrink inspired millions. Like her, you are stepping into a space where their approval is irrelevant. So tonight, chosen one, breathe deep, walk in without knocking, speak without apologizing, exist without shrinking. The version of you that begged to be chosen is gone. The one who knows they were born chosen is here. and the world is about to feel the difference. Number 14. You will become the test they will all fail. Chosen one, are you prepared to embody a new kind of spiritual assignment? You are no longer just walking through life. You are walking through people's masks. Tonight, you will become the test they will all fail, not to shame them, but to reveal what is truly in alignment with your destiny. Have you noticed how your presence now acts like a mirror? Without effort, it exposes what lies beneath surface smiles. Why? Because your elevation forces a natural separation between the genuine and the jealous. 1 Corinthians 4:5 says, "He will bring to light what is hidden in darkness and will expose the motives of the heart." You are now carrying that light, and it will trigger automatic reactions in those around you. Think about Chadwick Boseman. As his success grew, so did the exposure of those who couldn't celebrate him. His life became a mirror, forcing those around him to confront their true feelings. Likewise, your glow will reveal the authentic from the counterfeit. Ask yourself, are you ready to stand in a room knowing that your mere presence is a divine trigger? Because your transformation is about to make it impossible for others to hide who they really are. Proverbs 20:27 reminds us, "The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord that sheds light on one's inmost being." Your spirit is now a lamp, and in its glow, hidden motives will rise to the surface. Look at Michelle Obama. As she rose in grace and power, the world witnessed both admiration and venom. Her elevation became a litmus test for those around her. Similarly, your success is now a holy assignment that will separate the real from the fake. Have you noticed people starting to fall back? Some can't celebrate you because they were secretly competing. Others will try to sabotage what they can't control. And the rare few, the ones truly aligned, will rise with you. Watch closely. Their reactions will tell you everything. Luke 8:17 declares, "For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open." The next level you are stepping into cannot afford counterfeit support. Consider Oprah Winfrey again. Her rise exposed many hidden jealousies. But the key was this: she never stopped shining. You too must walk boldly, shine fully, and speak freely. Let your peace, confidence, and glow be the test. Because the test is not about who likes you, it is about who can handle what God is doing in you. Jealousy, ego, and hidden bitterness will rise, but so will clarity, and those reactions will guide your discernment without you saying a word. So, chosen one, walk boldly, shine without apology. Your success is holy, and it comes with a spiritual assignment to reveal what is real. You are not just elevating, you are separating, not out of pride, but out of purpose. You are now the divine filter, and some will fail that test with flying colors. And now, beloved chosen one, pause with me. Take a deep breath. Let this moment settle into every cell of your being, because after tonight, you will never again be who you were before. That old version of you, the one who hesitated, who dimmed their brilliance, who kept shrinking to fit spaces far too small for their spirit, is gone. No funeral needed, no eulogy required. It served its purpose, and now it is buried beneath the ground of your growth. What is rising now in you is rare. It is not arrogance, it is not vengeance, it is remembrance. You are remembering the truth that the world worked so hard to make you forget. You were never here to blend in. You were never created to be silent, to be small, or to settle. You were born to disrupt stagnant patterns, to shatter illusions, and to carry a frequency so elevated that the average soul cannot process it. And now, you've stepped into that frequency fully. This was not just another message. This was not a fleeting burst of motivation. Tonight was a moment of activation. A spiritual switch was flipped in real time. You can feel it, can't you? The energy is different now. From this moment forward, you will no longer chase after closure. You are the closure. You will no longer ask for permission. You are the permission. You will no longer seek validation. You are the evidence. Every wound you carried has transformed into a weapon of discernment. Every scar on your soul is now a symbol of victory. Every betrayal you endured has become a divine blueprint for the life you are constructing. You are no longer simply living a story. You are scripture in motion, a walking testament to the power of divine purpose and protection. Let this truth settle deep. You are no longer an option in anyone's life. You are now the test they must pass, the prophecy they never expected to witness, the filter through which authenticity is revealed, and the judgment that silently walks the room. Your glow is the audit. Your silence is the verdict. Your peace is the ultimate proof that those who once played games with your spirit have forever lost access to something priceless. They thought your time was over. They thought they had buried you beneath shame, doubt, and trauma. But what they didn't know is that God was only pulling back the curtain. You were never defeated. You were being positioned. Now, as you walk forward, do so with your head held high. Be loud in your silence. Be unapologetic in your light. There is no path leading back to smallness. You have been called higher, not to impress others, but to impact the world. And yes, they will try to pull you back. Old cycles will beckon. Old conversations will attempt to lure you in. Old roles will try to reclaim you. But hear me clearly. Do not go. You have outgrown them. You are no longer who you were. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them test themselves against your newfound glow. The real ones, the ones truly aligned with your destiny, will rise with you. The others will fall away naturally, as they must. That is not pride. That is divine filtration. You are not becoming, you already are. And tonight was the moment the rest of the world got notified. Your life from this point on will serve as an undeniable announcement of who you truly are. So walk boldly, chosen one. The universe is ready. Now, before we close, if this message lit something in you tonight, if your spirit felt seen, awakened, or divinely confirmed, if you now stand taller because of these words, please know this community is here to walk with you. You are not alone. Hit that subscribe button right now so you can remain connected with those who speak your language and honor your light. And to all of you who have so faithfully supported this channel, whether by watching, commenting, liking, sharing, or donating through Super Thanks, I see you. I honor you. Your support is what keeps this movement alive and expanding. And if you feel led to sow into this space through Super Thanks tonight, know that every gift, no matter how big or small, is deeply appreciated and poured right back into growing this work. And please hear this clearly. Whether you donate or not, your presence here matters deeply. Your light matters. Your voice matters. You are already priceless to this community, and your value does not depend on anything you give. Your simple act of showing up is a seed planted in divine soil, and I am grateful beyond words. So as we close tonight, I speak this blessing over you. May you walk boldly into the fullness of who you are. May your glow expose every falsehood. May your peace unsettle the ungenuine. May your voice liberate others who are still waiting for permission to rise. And may your life, yes, your life, become the living scripture that others will read and remember for generations to come. Chosen one, you are not just watching this channel, you are the reason it exists, and the world will never be the same again because you chose to awaken. Until we meet again in the next video, keep glowing, keep rising, and never apologize for the extraordinary power you carry. I'll see you soon. Blessings upon you always.